And then I suppose the final thought is, as the patient leaves the room, have you changed what you say to patients about how to check what's happened in the consultation? And the reason I'm asking is I'm aware that some patients will come with, take some notes about what happened in the appointment, and others will use the NHS app, of course, to check to see what the actions that have been agreed are. Is there anything different that you've done as a result of using AI scribes?
So I can reference the fact that they can read their consultation in the NHS app after I filed it, just to clarify certain points, and that'll be instead of having to send any further text messaging with any detail of what was discussed.
Fine. Thank you so much for listening today. I suppose we've been talking here about Ambient Scribe AI. AI is obviously a term which is used very often in the NHS. There are lots of other things that AI is being promoted as being a use or solution for. What are the other, I guess, exciting areas of potential that you can see within the AI world for general practice?
So I think the big success we've had over the last 12 months is the digital registration process. So there is a standardized way of registering the practice now, and it's web-based. And there are tools that bolt onto that gets that data directly onto EMIS. Personally, I think it's excellent. There is a cost attached to it, but you may find that it does free up your admin time, or it replaces your administrators when they're off sick. So that's the number one. Secondly, people are always interested in getting their documents summarized and coded. That is emerging. I don't think there's a fantastic solution yet. I think there's limitations both in terms of quality on one side and cost on the other. But I think that's one thing that everyone is hungry for. And then thirdly, I think some help around recall is being requested from the system as well. I know that Ardens does have certain tools that's within its suite of products that does support you with that. There's also AbTrace, which is a bit more expensive, and one can consider that as a bolt-on too.
Okay, so there's some exciting stuff that does feel like it's potential. Some of it I've heard you describe as being quite emergent and perhaps not quite ready yet. Maybe let others do the work around it if we're thinking about widespread adoption. But there's some really clear things you said there that we really should be doing, that really have changed practice and it looks better. Just for clarity, that's around patient registration?
That's right.
Anything else that we should be thinking about definitely recommending and doing at scale across general practice?
So we all have digital telephony systems now. Again, there's an out-of-the-box version of it. I think in terms of using the AI built within that telephony system, you can improve the auto-attendant functionality. You can use it to signpost patients away from requesting an appointment and telling patients about what other offers there are within the community rather than having to always go to the GP.
Okay, and some of that work I know that we pick up as sort of our practice visits that we do as part of the PCARD programme. I suppose just as important is stuff that really, from your experience and from the experience of the community of people who are interested in this work, is there stuff that you would caution us to stay maybe away from at the minute? Stuff that doesn't feel ready yet?
So in terms of clinical decision making, I don't think anyone is saying out loud that works. As I was telling you with the Ambient Scribe AI, don't think of it being capable of making any clinical decisions because it'll often make it wrong. It's like asking Google to tell you what's wrong with you. And we have patients coming to us all the time with that, and we know what they think is wrong with them, and you can't trust it half the time.
Okay, so in summary, don't worry everyone, AI is not going to replace you yet. It is an adjunct to how we practice clinically. There are some really clear advantages in process and automation that Bengi has described, but Ambient Scribe as a add-on to how we consult can potentially take us back to how we were trained, turning, facing, looking at our patients, summarising our notes accurately, and making that a readable version for patients to have as a record of their consultation. Okay, so if you've heard enough today to make you curious, at least about trying this, there's a couple of different approaches that people can try. First, of course, is wait until one of the suppliers knocks on your door and tries to sell you their product. But there is a more active way to think about how we use this. We're aware that it's not just primary care who's thinking about using these ambient scribe technologies, and it is being introduced in other healthcare settings. But of course, we're special in general practice, and we're particularly unique in North Central London. So tell us, Bengi, about some of the more local offers of support and groups of people who are really pioneering the adaptation of this new technology.
So at NCL, we're lucky to have Steve Durbin. He's our DPO, and he will help you with the regulatory aspects of implementing any new AI. In NCL, we also have the Primary Care Digital Innovations Group, led by Arjuna, and that's a group of like-minded AI people, and they will be sharing their experiences on using different AI tools, not strictly Scribe AI, but they will be discussing that as well. I'm part of a couple of national WhatsApp groups. One is about AI in the NHS, and another one is with the product that I particularly use, Tortoise. So I'm part of the Tortoise Beta users group. There is a Heidi user group as well. I'm sure that there will be an accurate Scribe users group too when they get approved as well. And you should always talk to the suppliers. There is competition out there. They should be working with you to help your use of the product, and you can help them develop their product to be better as well.
So it's one of these examples of digital innovation. It's an emergent market. There's multiple technologies, and they are changing, as Bengi's describing. Finding a cadre of people who are interested in this and can support you as a practice to adopt something which is actually useful for your own clinical practice, that has to be the goal of what we're trying to achieve. We represent this NCL PCARP, the Primary Care Access Recovery Programme, and part of what we're trying to achieve is to put groups of practices together who are interested in adopting this at the same time, to provide that environment for people to talk about implementing change and to share experience. We will be providing lots of resources, which of course, some of which are written documents, others of which are active learning environments for people to think about and to share experiences of adopting what is a new and exciting change to practice that could have benefit for both clinicians and hopefully for patients as well. Thank you for listening. Please do see the resources attached with this video.